How do you build capacity in a group that already feels burned out? Oh, good question. One thing I think is helpful is to really talk together about what people mean by burnout. Like, is it burnout from conflict? Like, people in the group are like, they feel burned and they're like, I'm not coming back because it was so hurtful what happened. Is it burnout like we're tired? Is it burnout? Like, what are people feeling when they say burnout, and what would they need to recover? Is it burnout like I no longer feel pleasure in this work, I just find it stressful? And so that we want to do work around reconnecting to purpose and figuring out the right amount that lets us still feel pleasure in it. And so we need to reduce the scale of the work until we recruit more people. Is it about people wanting to connect to their favorite tasks in the work and be like, how do I get the juice back by doing the thing I love the most? I love it when we do an art project together, or I love talking to new people, or I love the days when we're, outside together, or whatever it is. So I think burnout is just a very vague term, and it's just not the end of the road. I mean, I have burnt out like severely many times over the course of the years and recovered, you know? And I hope I won't burn out again because of my practices of trying to be more oriented toward my purpose and know how to say yes and no in ways that I want. But if I do, I also hope I again recover. And so I have an article on burnout. Maybe Sophie, will you put that link in the chat? That's like, I have one place that I put a lot of, I love that someone just asked, is romance a bad idea? um, uh, I have one place, one post on my Dean Spade website where I put like a bunch of the different writing I've done about these things, and it includes a piece around burnout that might have useful questions or inquiries for individuals or for groups. But I do think it's a word we overuse, or we use to mean a lot of things. And I think a group can just spend time like letting people actually figure out what healing from burnout means in terms of both how the group might change its work and what that individual wants to do to like get back to their passion and purpose. What do we do when the work of our mutual aid group is by nature exhausting and draining? Yeah, I mean, I have been thinking a lot about this because of groups that I work with all over that are trying to fight or like respond to sweeps of encampments of unhoused people. And it is like brutal work. Like it is just like, what the police are doing is genocidal, and what it takes to pack someone up and to try to reduce the harm of this police attack eviction on people week after week. Um, that's just one example of work I see people really, really getting exhausted by doing. I think one thing is we just need so many more people doing the work. So we like, how can we create groups that are really good at bringing in new people? And we'll spend some time in one of these workshops talking about that. And the other thing is like exhaustion. It's possible to have exhaustion and then rest and also have satisfaction. So I think that's the question I ask myself. I'm like, I want to do something, I've done actions or other processes that meant I had to stay up all night, which not everyone can do, but if you're doing something that is taxing on you emotionally, physically, intellectually, spiritually, like maybe that could be okay if we actually had ways to recover, if there was enough people doing it so it was resourced. Like that's, I think, my question is just like, how do this is for us all to solve, like, because even when we live in like a much better society than we live in now, if we ever get to, there will be exhausting work. Like taking care of babies is exhausting. Like, there's lots of work that's exhausting, but that I believe could be dignified and dignifying, satisfying, loving, and supported. So I think that's just the question. It's like the combination of making it sure that it's the right amount of it, it's peopled enough, people get rest, like um even asking that question in our mutual aid groups, like what would it take for us to be able to keep doing this exhausting work? you know, I think is Lindsay mentions that burnout happened from being overcommitted. And I just want to say, like, yeah, like a lot of us just say a lot of yeses and have too many chaotic irons in the fire. Our attention is dispersed. Sometimes I feel like my eyeballs are like all over the walls. Like I'm involved in too many things. And so How do I've done a lot of processes at different times in my life of like, it's time to prioritize. And one of the things I didn't get to talk about today is when it comes to procrastination, like having a prioritized list, like taking the decision fatigue out of it by it's like, I have a prioritized list. Like, Dean, today, the top two things are like prepare for this workshop and like write this letter to this prisoner and contact this coalition. And so there might be 18,000 emails and like a million other, call the airline or call my foster mother. There might be a million other things on this list, but I know do the top 3 first, Dean, even though I might have reasons I'm procrastinating those. Just take that decision off my own plate. And then I can ask myself, wow, why am I struggling? If I'm struggling to do my prioritized list, what do I need? What are the feelings in there? Am I interested in self-sabotage? Am I afraid of failure because I have imposter syndrome? Am I being perfectionist? Am I scared of there's conflict in one of those relationships? Like, what support do I need? Do I need a friend to talk me through it? Do I need to say a prayer? Do I need to put my feet on the ground? Like, um, there can be a kind of pragmatic approach to what's hard about that overcommitted feeling that I think is possible. And many times in my life, I've had to like quit 10 projects, like, oh my God, I'm in 10 too many projects again. And and I had to be like, what do I care about the most? I care most about prisoners. I care most about whatever. Okay, I can't do this thing with law students, or I can't do this thing, that should be done by someone. But I think that process of prioritization, very difficult and really requires, I think, connecting with support, like talking through your values with some people who share your values and asking for that support and doing that with each other.